Hey there everybody, welcome back to the Pike Homestead. I'm Adam, and today we're going to be working on some actual spring chores. So, as you can see behind me, most of our snow is finally disappearing here. This is fantastic. We can actually start getting some projects going. The garden is still covered in snow, but we'll get there. But for now, we've got some of our neighbors' bulls here as they're doing calving over on their main farm. And this is a nice, calm place for them to chill out until they're put in with any open cows that are left in the next month or so. So, anyway, I've got a lot of bull on my farm to deal with here. Some nice big calm boys. And they're coming over every couple of days and rolling out some hay for them to eat. So all that real green stuff out there on the hill, that's hay that they've harvested last year and have been rolling out for them all winter here. So anyway, with the fact that I've got a lot of snow gone, we have access in to the pole barn here, where I am hoping to be able to, almost full access, but I've got my little acreage trailer here that I'd, fixed the wheel on and everything last year and got up and working. And I've got a bunch of stalls in the barn that I need to clean out and at least, put some more litter in. But it's a bit of a chore when I'm having to do it like one sled load at a time or one wheelbarrow load at a time and walking all the way from here to there. So one of the main reasons I got that trailer working was so that I wouldn't have to do that. So I could just load it up and pull it out. But with the roof here, all the snow comes off and piles up right in front of it. So I'm hoping today to get that kind of cleared and be able to pull this bad boy out and just do one big trip with all the straw to stock up and refill the chicken pens and the goat pens and the pig pen and make it all smell nice and clean. So, I mean, it's not smelly yet, but it's going to be there real soon. So I want to get on it now. We've got a beautiful day. Don't have to be dressed up warm. Starting to sweat as I'm doing the work here. So anyway, I'm going to get working on this and see if I can't crack the ice wall and get this bad boy out of here so I can make some use of it sooner rather than later. So that's going pretty well. Like I think I've said in a few previous videos, I've been working a lot with some of our neighbors here as a farmhand, pushing calves and cattle around right now just to, keep them controlled. So, to control any sickness that comes out and keep them in, smaller groups as they come out of the main field when calves are born. Just to keep better control and make sure the health of the herd and everything is doing well. But, that said, that's definitely helped my fitness level. I'm feeling stronger than I have in a few years. I think we've talked about in some of our, especially some of our videos about our diet and everything like that, about how, fitness and my fitness in particular, like since 2020, really, I've been heavier than I've ever been. And, once I left my job to do this, I actually ended up being far too sedentary. And so being up and active every day is definitely, I've seen an increase in change in my body, and, my weight is now dropping. I'm now 15 pounds down over what my high was when we started doing these videos, right? So, it's been a couple of years, but this is the first time I've really seen significant progress, but it's also the time I've been doing significant amounts of work consistently. And it's not through any exercise or anything like that. It's just being active and living this kind of lifestyle. Anyway, so as I'm working here, I'm realizing I've got a tool here that you probably haven't seen. And it's one that you'll never see in stores. This is something I found here on the farm. And, realized quite quickly what it's for. Because as you know, we've got our dugout pond out there in the fields for watering the cattle and stuff through the year. And when it's frozen in winter, they needed something to break the ice. So, you know, some people around here, they'll use axes, or they'll buy, you know, actual ice chippers or ice breakers to break open those things. Because what may happen, especially when the ice isn't thick enough, is the cattle may walk out on it. Like, they'll try to break the ice with their hooves, and if it's too thick near the shore, they'll step out further and further. And then all of a sudden you've got a cow in your dugout in the middle of winter freezing. And that's not good for the cow, it's not good for the water, it's not good for the herd or anything. So what they'll often do is they'll get something to break the ice open in a spot where it's safe for the cattle to drink, while it's still, you know, not quite thick enough for them to leave it for the winter and leave the cows to eat snow, right? So anyway, that's, I figure, you know, previous tenants here, that's what they did. They took this, you know, metal, probably bit of fencing, and welded this nice heavy axe head to it, and it's actually fantastic for breaking ice. And so that's what I've been using here. You know, I'm attacking this very specifically because on the outside here the snow is fairly crisp and easy to get into, but at the top and down the backside, it's, you know, sometimes in there it's about an inch of ice. So I need something that can break it, you know. So I'm using my angles and using the tools that I have to shatter it without, you know, destroying my fitness level or you know, overworking myself. So I'm just trying to use my tools to leverage as best as I can, and it's working really well, actually. I've got, you know, I'm about a third of the way of what I want to get cleared here to have enough room to get the trailer out. Whenever I've been clearing snow or stuff, like from our front walk even, this is the best way to crack it and get it out of the way. So anyway, just thought I'd show it off a little bit and say, no, he can't have it, because this is probably a one-off and not something I could reproduce. But anyway, it's a neat little unit. And also, if you're in a situation like us with lots of ice or anything like that, where you need to crack and clear stuff out of the way, something like this is a good idea. It's got a nice amount of weight to it. So it is heavy to use, but it's not too heavy once you get going with it. And especially if you saw me there taking a real swing from the end of it, you don't have to swing it that hard to get the momentum on the far end, and use that to your advantage to crack stuff, especially like this. Here on the Pike homestead, where there's always a cat. In this instance, it is Nina, the mother of all the barn kittens, and Neville, who came with us and lives in the house. He's creeping by very cautiously, so that Nina doesn't, you know, kick his ass. And this was a relatively peaceful encounter. And we have success. She's hooked up and ready to pull out. I mean, it's gonna be fun target shooting this, getting this bad boy back in there, but we can do it. So now it's just a matter of filling it up with some of that. All right, so it's free of the pole barn. It's full of straw. But now comes the challenging part, at least for me, because it is a very small trailer. It is very squirrely when I'm backing up. Just the slightest movement sends it way off, and I haven't done it much, but I still haven't got a good feel for it. So I've got to back it up from here and try to get it as close to there to make it for easy loading. Now, I have no idea how much this straw will fill in the barn. This is part of the experiment because I haven't actually used it to do this yet. I know how much of my sled and my wheelbarrow, how much I need for each stall, and I'm hoping I can get at least the chicken side done with what's in here, because that would be fantastic and speed things up immensely. I mean, I don't have to do a full changeover in the chickens. It's just adding more carbon to neutralize all the nitrogen and everything that they put in, and keep the smell down for now until it's time for a full clean out once we're getting them outside. But I'm hoping that I can get a good amount with that and do it. So let's see how well I do with backing this bad boy up, hey? So it wasn't as squirrely as I was worried about. I mean, I had difficulty getting it into the pole barn, but managed to get it lined up and back here, and got enough space to swing down the ramp and load it up and get stuff in the door. I am very happy with that. This has sped things up immensely. You saw that, right? The criminals have broken this fence now. Ah! Well, we have some happy pigs with a little bit of fresh straw to add to their nest, along with their hay that they haven't eaten, because we've got outside to work on too. And then we've got some happy roosters back there with their pen with a good refresh. It's all covered underneath their roost. And we've got some kicked around in the general area. And then the chickens and guineas are very, very happy. Their whole pen will be covered by the time they're done spreading it around. I'm very happy with how that worked out. It's just one load gets, half the barn pretty much done. And I just made use of it because the pigs were getting really excited seeing it all, so I decided to throw half a load into them, even though there is room for it in with the roosters, but they don't need it. So anyway, that's that job done, as I just kind of walk around and take a look at how our pens are kind of defrosting here. And just doing a walkabout, see how the property's doing with all the bulls wrecking stuff. Seems to be going all right. But yeah, I'm really happy with how that turned out. It's going to make doing big cleanups in the barn a lot quicker than having to hand bomb everything from the pole barn over to the actual barn, at least until all that stuff in the pole barn is gone. Just because, we're just using up what was left here. And for the future, that's, we want to be having something a little closer. But hey, it was great to get that thing out, great to get that thing usable. And yeah, that took a portion of the time it would for me to do it, every sled load at a time, walking back and forth. So I'm definitely satisfied with that. Anyway, we've got more adventures coming up real soon here. And we've got, I've got work to do with the chickens, because as you can see, it's getting pretty clear out here. It's time to get them outside, but first I got to build them a door. And I got to build them another laying box, as I've been talking about, and just not able to get around to. So I hope you come back and check us in for that. Thanks for spending your time with me today, and I hope you have a good one.